Today we will talk about a very important topic in game dev industry in general. We're going to cover how not to get a burnout and in the same time how to improve your game dev skills. Many of you guys and probably most of indie developers, when they work on a project, they get very bored of it, want to quit it and do another one, and in the same time you feel very tired, very burnt out. You don't want to actually open the project and work on it. And usually in this time the quality of the project gets a bit decreased. The reason this happens is not just a lack of motivation. You don't need a motivation speaker to tell you, oh, you're gonna do it, you're the best, you're blah blah blah. You don't need like an Andrew Tate telling you how you should be very hardworking. You're already hardworking if you're already making a video game. You should, which would sound a bit more ridiculous, watch more movies and play more video games. The idea of burning out comes from having no ideas in your mind. So you feel stuck in your position while you are making a video game. So when you feel this stuck, you feel that you cannot progress and this duplicate until you cannot actually work on the project. So actually watching more movies and playing much more video games help you to have more in your bank of ideas that you can use when you work on your video game. And this boosts the way that you make video games like 10x times or 20x times in some cases. Plus it increases the quality because having more ideas and having more brainstorming in your mind make you make more creative worlds, and I guess this is one of the reasons why big studios cannot make really good games. Multiple people that work on their companies, they are just in a business. They do not really understand the art about it. They do not really watch much movies and play much video games. One of the greatest inspirations that inspire me a lot in making cinema or video games is one of the series which is called Black Mirror. Black Mirror is one of the greatest series out there in the cinema industry. It's very great, have different ideas. I really like to get back and understand how do they do the structure of the scenario for each episode, because this is important in our pipeline, which is making short games that relies on story. So doing something like Black Mirror is really very close to our structure of pipeline. So finding a series or something really close to your pipeline helps a lot, helps a ton in making a video game. So if you're making something, I don't know, cartoony, maybe go watch Kung Fu Panda. It helps you a lot to understand how do they structure the world, how did they give you the story in a meaningful way yet very comedic, how did they integrate fighting in it. Understanding cinema and playing more video games, of course related to your video game, help you a lot in making your game much better. That's why before I even start in pre-production, like if I'm gonna make a game like it's more horror, survival and something like that, FPS, I'm going to play all Resident Evil games, like 2 remake, 4 remake, 3 remake, 7 and 8, and then go actually do the pre-production, because now I have tons of ideas, maybe even games similar to Resident Evil, and try to go through them really quickly and analyzing details. Oh, they did the textures like this, they increase the normals on the wall so the light have more effect, they blah blah blah. Having a game dev vision on a game or a director vision on a movie is way different than just watching it for just the matter of it's being interesting. So I always have my paper or my notebook and I scratch notes. Oh, they did this, they did that, and plus making my brain having more ideas that will be cooking all the time until when I start my project. Now I have even more ideas because you integrate ideas between projects. Like for example, you watched The Walking Dead and played Resident Evil, so you merge ideas from these two and create your own ideas that actually would be very very cool in your project. So brainstorming, but by watching much more TV shows, movies and cinema, and playing much more video games. But again, this is before the pre-production plan, before starting, or if you felt so stuck out of any ideas, very burned out in the matter of making ideas. The second part that make people burn out very quickly and not be able to actually make very good progress is doing stuff that are not their strong points. So, for example, to me, it's art. I'm not a very great artist. Yes, I do art, and many people say it's great. But when I do it, I really struggle. Even if I did a great art, I hate it. I don't like making art. I'm more into the technical direction and programming side. I like visual direction, but I really hate making the visuals. So, or music. I really hate to make music. I always make people make music for my games. I love to listen to it, but I understand no bullshit about it. I barely can understand music theory. So, what I advise you when you do something that you really suck at, try to make it the less important thing in your game. So, if you are a very great artist but you hate coding, make a video game that embraces the art much more than the intense gameplay. The gameplay depth should be way less than how the visual direction and the visuals in the game look more like dominant. But let's say you are very great at coding and at gameplay design, then do much more gameplay and more simplistic art. Especially if you are solo, because this does get healed up with team ups when you have like teams and stuff. When you are solo, it's really hard to do on yourself. So this is why I'm telling you this important thing, because you will not be able to hide your weaknesses. People gonna notice it. You gonna notice it when you burn out. It's better to embrace your strong points that people will say, the gameplay in this game was so good, I don't give a shit if the art was messy. Or, oh, the visuals were amazing, I don't give a shit like about or even the narrative. The narrative was so amazing. This feels like a fucking episode of Breaking Bad up. The narrative is super amazing. I don't give a shit either about the story, I'm sorry, the art or the programming. So it's embracing the strong point that you have. With these 2 points, I think you would be able to avoid burnout as much as possible. Also, there is some motivational stuff like, oh, your game gonna succeed, seeing people play your game, but this stuff, most of you heard it from other people, like seeing people play your game really helps with it. Going out to try to change your mood, going to sports, there's tons of the stuff that could change the mentality of a human being, but this is not too much related to game dev as much of it to therapy, and I'm not a therapist. I'm telling you the stuff that could make you avoid burnout in the game dev industry specifically and make your games better. And if you are stuck in one, to know to like progress through it as much as possible. Plus, of course, if you feel like you're very stuck, you can go to therapy, ask them about this basic stuff, and integrate these 2 points to really get the full deal. I hope I helped you guys. Drop your thoughts in the comments. I try to answer all of them in the reply section. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and see you in the next episode. And don't forget, like and subscribe and Wishlist Eggventure. This list is going a bit longer than usual.